Hi everybody. I'm looking out the window today at our red sky, and I came to the studio because I was moved to jump onto a live call with you here and just drop into some meditation and some stories and share with you some reflections on this unusual day. Words fail at some point. So my first instinct when I woke up super late because I didn't set an alarm and the sky was so dark that I didn't realize what time it was. And when I woke up, I realized that today was not the day for business as usual. And I've been in thoughtfulness and reflection and prayer most of this morning. And it's very curious to me when I was, coming over to the studio to see just so many people going about business as usual. And, certainly there are things, I suppose, that must be done for every household. But I'm not sure what it would take to get us all to stop and just pause and reflect and humble ourselves to nature. And this is what's being asked of us right now, is to humble ourselves to the power of nature. I think a lot of us try to just keep up with busyness in order to somehow, just kind of feel like, oh, business as usual. I guess I'm just gonna go grocery shopping and run errands and whatever. And of course, if you need to get food, you need to get food. But I'm wondering what it takes for us to just stop and reflect. And so I'd like to do that with you now, if you'll join me, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching later. But can we just take a few moments to just pause and not even contemplate the sort of maybe what we feel like is an atrocity, but to simply actually pause all the way. And so I'm reminded of a story that was told to me by a Colombian shaman, an elder, and his name is Calixto Suarez. And he came and spoke here in Oakland several years ago now. And he's part of the Arhuaco people, which are considered to be wisdom keepers, some of the original wisdom keepers of the earth, who are still living now, tending to the ecology with prayer and reverence and offerings. And he told a story about, it's an ancient Colombian fable about a time when the entire earth was on fire. And so the story is that the whole world is on fire, and all of the people and all of the creatures are trying to run in the opposite direction of the fire. But these little hummingbirds, I think he said like 3 little hummingbirds, were flying towards the fire with a little bit of water in their beaks. They were flying towards the fire. And all the other creatures were saying, no, don't go in that direction. You'll get burned. But the hummingbirds were undeterred. They said, no, we have to do our part to help. And all the other creatures said, that's insane. You're just a little hummingbird. You only have 1 drop of water. How can you put out the fire with just these 1 drops of water? And they said, oh, it doesn't matter. We must do our part. And they flew towards the fire with their one little drops of water. And I want to just sit with that story a little bit with you on this day that the earth is burning for us in California and other states here especially on the West Coast. To sit with this idea of bringing our one drop of water to this fire. And what does that mean? And so I'd like you to just sit for a moment and just rest inward with me without trying to think too much. We're just going to go into our hearts for a moment, and then I'm going to speak from that place. So if you are willing to join me, you can close your eyes, and if it helps you, put your hands over your heart or hands softly together at your heart, or they could even just be in your lap. And we're just going to go slowly, practice relaxing your skin. Feel the gentle waves of your breath. So there's many ways to experience this moment. First, we are humbled by the power of nature. And we are humbled by our place in nature. We are not in charge. We are subservient to the waters, the fires, the airs, the earth and its changes. The appropriate inner stance is one of humility and service, one of humbleness and reverence, and asking, how can I help? Some of us will be caught in the eddies of fear and wanting to retreat and hide and cower, and that is a normal response. And it is part of the healthy response of stopping what you're doing, retreating from the normal, honoring the power of the moment that finally stops you in your tracks. This can happen in many ways during life. Today, the sky is stopping us in our tracks. Step inside yourself and feel what it's like to just stop. We stop together for a moment. We breathe in the pause. Hold your heart if you're feeling fearful or uncertain, or even if you're feeling strong and steady. Those of us who feel strong and steady are like the hummingbirds with the drops in our mouths. We offer them to the fire and to those that need reassurance, to those parts of ourselves. We might have all of these parts going on in ourselves right now, the steady parts and the fearful parts. The steady parts of ourself offer drops of nectar to the parts of ourself that need that reassurance. I'm curious what it would look like if everyone stopped today. I'm really curious what that would be like. If we didn't have the conveniences of these screens and of the grocery stores and of all the modern conveniences, if we didn't have these conveniences, today would be a day of major pause. Today would be a day of bowing, of gathering together and bowing in humility to our place in nature and begging forgiveness from the bottom of our soul. How can we tend to this moment? Where have we forgotten? When we pray from this place deep within, because every single person I know cares so deeply about the health of our planet, the health of our family and friends, the health of of the whole system of self and each other. Everyone I know. And all humans really actually do care. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to a moment like this, when it comes down to nature being in charge, everybody bows. Everybody bows. And so I encourage you to take this time to bow. Bow to your pain, bow to your fear, bow to your wonder, bow in reverence to the power of what's happening outside. Bow to your heart that wants to understand. Bow to each other who are collectively concerned. Bow. Your bowing is like the hummingbirds with the drop of water in their mouth. You're bowing to that inner resource and it's by bowing and stopping that we actually can drink from this reverence. And this is what gives us power to make healthy, I'm looking for the word, but it's what empowers us moving forward in a new way, with reverence. Not with just busyness, with normal busyness. Like when I was driving to the studio, it almost just felt even crazy to be driving out there right now and everybody doing their busyness. And I thought, this is kind of like, like if you were on the Titanic, but you felt like you had to make your bed first or something. Like, what is everybody doing today, running around doing like normal things? When this is what's happening. Like, today is the day to stop. You don't have to stop forever, but just stop today in some way that you can. Even if it's just with me right now, each other right now in this moment. Just to pause and feel. There's a temptation to try to avoid the fearsomeness and the uncertainty and think, oh, if I go inside, I'm just going to be the light. I'm going to remember my inner light. I'm going to connect with that. And although that is a real thing that you can do right now, we want to make sure that we're not doing it because we're trying to avoid the reality of this moment. So sometimes just like, oh, I'm just going to connect with the night, connect with the light. This is an avoidance strategy. So it's true that you can connect with the eternal inner sunshine right now. And that is a valid thing to do right now. But just notice where it's coming from. Are you trying to kick out the other parts of you that are real right now? Or are you actually able to hold both at the same time? So, my invitation to you is to rest inward and like a mother or it always feels like a mother to me, wrapping her arms around her children. All the parts of you in this moment are welcome, accepted into the lap of the great nurturing source right now. And in that we sit, and in that is the holding it all, both the lightness of presence and the permanence of nurturing source, also holding all of our humanness. This is the prayer, this is the meditation. In this moment. So we go in some more. We close our eyes. If you like, hold your heart. Rest your attention inward. Just noticing what there is to notice. Not so much with a thinking mind, but with just a felt sense of knowing, dropping in and in. And as we drop in, we bring with us, it's like we're moving through the layers of self, through all the layers of mental action, emotional action. It's like dropping through the waves down to the stillness inside. We are aware of all of the pieces of ourself, and we rest in the stillness inside. All the pieces of ourself are welcome in this moment. Welcome into the stillness. We bow. We pray that all of nature realize its happiness, its full potential of happiness. Happy soil, happy water, happy fire, happy air. We bow in service to this project of supporting the happiness and healthiness of nature inside and outside. If you are able today to take the majority of the day to just be in prayer and reverence and quietness and contemplation and spiritual service, I invite you to do that with me. I'm going to spend as much of today as I can in reflection and even as I go about my practical things that need to be done, I'm going to be bowing inside in reverence to this moment. And that's really the yoga that is intended to be done all day, every day anyway, no matter what the day. But today especially, if you are capable of doing this, I invite you to do this with me in service not only of yourself, but all beings and all of nature. So some of the ways that I'm going to do this is at home I made I refreshed my altar. I put a big bowl of fresh water in a really beautiful bowl on my altar. I lit the candles. I asked that the water balance the fire. I have a 8-hour track of Om that's playing at my house right now. And I'm going to keep it on loop all day. And I posted that track a couple days ago. I'll post it again today, maybe in the comments here when I get off of the live feed. And I'm also going to sit with mantra right now and here with you. So if you'd like to listen, or if you know this mantra, you can join me. It's the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra. And it is a medicine mantra that is one of the most powerful purification mantras that you can chant. And the loose translation is that this is an invocation to the aspect of the divine that ripens our hearts, ripens our inner wisdom, so that we become free of the vines of attachment, which means attachment to things that keep us ignorant of the truth. So when we chant this mantra over and over again, or even just listen to the mantra over and over again, this blessing, this invocation is moving through us on the level of physical, cellular, mental, emotional, psychic, and spiritual. So I offer a few rounds of this mantra to you, to the world, to California, to all the fires, to all the elements. May this be like drops of water, my drops of water, into the great fire, an offering from my heart. Om Triambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyam amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you to the earth and the water, fire, air, and space. We're sorry for all of our ignorance and disrespect. We ask your forgiveness. We are humbled by your power. We are grateful for your nourishment. Please accept our offering. Please accept our gratitude as our offering Please show us how to be better stewards. Please support the original stewards to expand, to be allowed for their wisdom to come forward and expand and be received, that we may learn, we may humble ourselves to the original wisdom, live in harmony with all of nature in our proper place in relation to the great universal powers of earth and water, fire, air, and space. We are servants and students. We are lovers and alive. We take joy, walk with joy, even in the midst of great suffering, as lovers of life. Learning to love aliveness itself, to steward that. Offer this humble prayer. I bow to my teachers and my teachers' teachers. I bow to my inner teacher and the whole world family. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your pause, any moment of pause, even if it's multiple little pauses throughout your day. Each pause is a drop of water. Be well. I will see you soon.